Good afternoon, y'all. This is Chris Vaughn. I wanted to keep my promise and hop on today and answer a few questions. Any questions, actually, or to have a brief Q&A, basically, um, about the last two posts, both the Happy New Year and the post yesterday, Get Clear, Get Bold, that also was the release of our alignment engine GPT suite. This is my first time using this one, so bear with me should anything go not as planned. Put it that way, not as planned. Let me go ahead and turn Do Not Disturb on real quick. Had a system update. Okay. But anyway, so I'm Chris Vaughn, strategist, creator, and disruptor, also catalyst and chief at In Her Company, where we harness the power of women to be their own solutions. Um, Last week, I got a lot of feedback from y'all to my posts. It's like, Happy New Year. Um, the typical response was like, what are you talking about? We're 3 months into the year already, but thanks, because I was kind of feeling the same. If you haven't seen it, the post was speaking about how we are the only species that come January 1st, for the sake of it being January 1st, which is in the dead of winter, that's seeking to bloom, while everything else around us, all of nature, is still rejuvenating, enjoying the resting period, so that they can be at full capacity and bloom in spring. Um, Actually, the calendar that we now have, we arrived at it through not only renamings, revisions, but very much intentional manipulations. So I've discovered. Um, and when I came across that, I was like, this is why. Because for me, my year begins in March. So does In Her Companies. Um, and I actually live that. That's how I operate my calendar. So if you've been with us anytime, you'll notice that every January we're quieter than anyone else. It doesn't mean that things aren't happening behind the scenes, but it means that we align ourselves with our flow, which I kind of find interesting, because it is through absolute, just pure coincidence that my March, my new year begins in March, which also happens to be Women's History Month. And over the past 2 decades, any new projects, um, ideas, whatever it is that we were launching campaigns, typically have come up in March. That was their kickoff for them. So I believe that there's somewhat innate knowing within each of us, and that is that same innate knowing that when we're operating out of season, we may not be able to articulate it, but we know something is off. But also because we've been conditioned that this is what everybody else is doing, um, we don't see a lot of room necessarily to step outside that. So perhaps part of the difficulty, or part of the reason that New Year resolutions are actually totally obliterated by the time March is coming around, is because we've robbed ourselves of the period needed to rest, to realign, to gather whatever resources naturally through the natural ebb and flow of our lives, that we're so eager to head out the gate and we head out the gate January 1st empty handed. So it's no wonder that we're depleted by the time March comes around, which is when we should bloom. So if you have any questions about that article, let me see if I can just put the link here. And somebody let me know if you can see that, please. This, I am trying to monitor this one. Let's see how that's working. I don't know if that one is or not. But anyway, yeah. So that was one. But also, that kind of coincides, though, with what we just announced, released yesterday. Yesterday, was it? No, the day before. Part of getting having the courage to do so is also found in clarity. We have a formula, which I won't share here right now, but clarity is the key component. In fact, clarity is the key to much more than what we may want to give it credit for. Clarity is giving yourself not only the margin to allow for it to come about, not only the time for it to come about, but it's the space that makes other things happen. It's the space that makes other things possible. And so the clearer you are, the more confident that you can, i.e., the more bold that you are when you can move. And so recently, as I share in this week's article, I was talking about getting clear and getting bold, and how lately I've been feeling somewhat pressed to choose. Not choose one, because you know how we feel about that, but to choose as in regards to being intentional about what components are going to make up my next phase of life. What am I intentionally choosing as my foundation? Not that I can't do everything else. In fact, I'm 100% confident that I most absolutely will. But what is going to be the foundation that I put into place now that those other things eventually will be built atop of, and that can sustain anything else that's built upon it for that reason also. Um, and I like to set the bar high. I like to challenge myself at times, um, because I can do quite skilled at doing multiple things at once, and maintaining the same quality. But I also, after taking my first break in 20 years, I know, I know. I took last summer off. We homeschooled year round. I homeschooled 4 kids, um, from beginning through high school graduation. Life happened again. Um, and because like work is play for me, I never thought to take a break. Now, of course, there were, a few days here and there, but I hadn't taken an extended break in quite some time. And so, since taking last summer off and actually just stepping back and had some amazing experiences, absolutely fabulous adventures, the Water Lantern Festival, the high air balloon, went hiking more. Just so much happened. Actually did pottery for the first time, something I had wanted to learn since I was little, and things just kept coming up one after the other. And so I enjoy margin. and I want to intentionally keep space for that. And so, whereas, yes, I definitely can run these multiple um, projects and launch ideas and whatnot, um, I'm not going to. And it feels good also not to, because by choosing key components, I also make room for new dreams, not simply to maintain the ones that I have right now. So I develop a simple framework for myself that I shared in the article. Um, Here, let me place this one here too. This is the second article, the Get Clear and Be Bold one. And what I did was simply, the first step was omitting the things that, yes, I can do, but I could do it at any time. They have zero immediate relevance or even tie ins to anything else. In fact, that was the second thing that helped me whittle away, what is this new foundation for me going to look like, was that I also removed the things that had no impact on other components that I was dealing with. And then I took a look at what the weighing the outcome versus the effort and time to complete these things. Like, was that going to be, worth it? Was the outcome going to be valuable enough, that it warrants that time and effort? Um, and then I selected no more than four, and ensuring that they were not only connected, not only that they could support each other, but also that together they could be leveraged for greater things to come. So, part of, yes, clarity as a process, but from this, I thought, perhaps there are other women who are feeling, some kind of, urgency, um, that just won't go away, that they're, they also need to be intentional about what their journey looks like. Um, and they need to have a way to do this that will guide them through these same decisions, to put frameworks in place and just to add some structure so they can arrive at whatever this decision is. And it's something that not only resonates with them, but will help them stay aligned and have the overall, like a holistic quality of life, so that they can get out of living compartmentalized. And so somehow that became the alignment engine suite. I created a series of three GPTs, three of them, not just one, three um, GPTs, to guide women through their decisions, guide women to clarity, um, to address any areas of misalignment, and to give them, options, um, that carry weight in both life personally as well as business wise, so that they can create a meaningful rather than meandering way forward. Um, Sometimes meandering, the road less traveled, is a great place to be. Meandering, not so much. So, been getting feedback already, y'all, which I'm so awesome, so awesome, so great to hear. Um, from the clarity that women have arrived at, from the GPTs, the landing exactly at the right time because they were facing a crossroads, from things just being made simple, you know, um, women arriving at better ways of simply living, meaning that handling whatever it is that they were faced with now, as well as better structuring their business or better preparing for the structure to be implemented into their businesses. So very happy about that, because our tagline is harnessing the power of women to be their own solution. And it's just absolutely amazing and just fulfilling to know that we placed a tool out into the world to help them do just that. So continue to send us your feedback. Continue to send us your not Snapchats, oh my gosh, your screenshots, so that we can monitor performance. And, let's continue this discussion. I'm actually thinking of having a small in-person group, for any women that are in the Georgia area to go through this and have a clarity plan in addition to what they're guided through, to fleshing this out more. I have to give that more thought, but I believe that having women together in person, especially women that may be each other's solutions without knowing it, actually be pretty cool. Actually be pretty cool. And we could dive deep into some of those things. So if you're in the Georgia area and Atlanta, I'm South Atlanta, Fairburn. That's like Fairburn all the way through to Noonan. Which is where it'll be held. But if you're in Atlanta metro area and you are interested in having a 4-hour blowout where we just actually hone into this, either DM me or from our contact form inher.co. Go ahead and shoot us a message and let us know that you are in fact interested. May do one online as well, but I mean, we'll see. We'll see. We want to give you guys some time to thoroughly go through the entire alignment engine because it is 3 tools. There's the alignment one, there's the optimized clarity, and then the last one is your brand marketing audit that takes you all the way through and brings everything together from across all 3 GPTs, because this is not just another GPT. This is not a worksheet. This is something far greater. It's actually a suite of tools that will give you a complete snapshot, action items, as well as outcomes that you can expect as the result of it. And so we want to give you guys time to experience that, to get some feedback from you. And then, because there is more, there's already more, but not going to talk about that today. So if there are any questions, let's go ahead, because I know it is the weekend. Some of you are headed out already, but I definitely wanted to keep my word from earlier because we were out ourselves. So let me... Here is the link where you can find out more, where you can actually access the alignment engine. The first app is offered to you free. Please, by all means, go ahead and gain the clarity, because you have one life. No matter how many calendars that you are juggling, it's one life. Our aim is for you to live that one life well. So the alignment engine is offered to you. You can access that free. The link is on the page that I just posted. The Clarity First Marketing Audit and the Brand Brief Generator are the other 2. If you want to continue that work, then you can obtain those other 2. So let me check something real quick. And then if there are no questions, we can shut this down and I can see you next week. Let me see. Let me check here. Bear with me one moment. Okay, we had one to come in, and Kara was asking. Okay, so the answer to that, Kara, is no. Um, the GPTs are private. They do not report out anywhere. So whatever you enter, like I have to sneeze. Excuse me. So what they're all in-house. What the GPTs do not report, your information is not used to train on them. None of that is not stored. So your is perfectly fine. It's not used for training purposes or anything else. So yeah, it walks you through for that one session, and that's that. Um, it can generate a one sheet though for you to download, so you can save your results to PDF. Um, but no, it's not used. Your information is not used for training or anything, so you don't have to be concerned about that. In fact, that's one of the things that we wanted to be sure of yourselves. So yeah, you're good. Let me see what else. And Dana, yeah. Okay, so what happens is, so you can access the first one free, as I mentioned, the alignment engine. That's where you uncover where you're out of sync across your identity and message and seasons, is what we touched upon earlier. So you can use that. You can reflect from the output from the alignment engine, and then you can decide if the full suite is your next step. The one of the things, one of the considerations that we had was that regardless if we encounter women or not, we wanted to put a tool out where if they were faced with a challenge, a decision, um, because clarity is key, where they can gain that clarity and at least move forward more confidently, regardless if, like I said, if we encounter each other or not. So if you decide that you want to continue with the DII type and that's meeting your needs, hey, that's awesome. Then you can purchase the other two um, options in the suite, and the three together is what makes up the suite, is a complete picture. You'll go from identifying any areas of misalignment with the alignment engine to gaining further clarity business wise, like if you your brand presence, your brand's voice, visuals, whether it's resonating, the difference between what you say you do and what your clients believe you do. And then we'll go to the third one, which is the brand brief generator. And you can find these details on the site. But again, each one of these tools will generate, if you decide, a PDF that you can download and you can take and continue to use it. However, we know that some of you are also more seasoned womenpreneurs, or perhaps your situation challenge requires more nuance. So you have an option to engage us one-on-one or via group consulting as well. So, but yeah, and I posted the link in chat, and there is again. Here's where you find out more information about the alignment engine. You can also look back and see our other two posts if you would like. Okay. All right. All right, Joe. I wanted to keep my word. Like I said, thanks again for your feedback. Please continue to share the tool. Um, we've heard remarkable things already. We are absolutely certain that even more to come. So thanks for your support. Thanks for your feedback. Continue to send us your testimonies and your snapshots. And yeah, wishing you greater clarity and wishing you greater boldness as a result. So I am Chris Vaughn. I am Catalyst in Chief at In Her Company, where we harness the power of women to be their own solutions. And we are happy to extend to you another way to obtain just that. Have a wonderful weekend, y'all. Bye bye.